Good evening. My name is Joseph Panis. I'm a member of the Valley Forge Patriots Steering Committee. And on behalf of the Valley Forge Patriots, let me welcome you all. It's really great to see such an enthusiastic turnout that we have tonight. I think we can all agree that this country is heading in the wrong direction. Economically, unemployment's 8.5%, deficits run $1 trillion plus, the debt has climbed over 15 trillion, and government spending is out of control. In terms of foreign affairs, our friends we abuse, our enemies we appease. And this direction is the result of, I think, Barack Obama's policies, which have been supported by a Democrat Congress up till the 2010 election, and a Democrat Senate after 2010. In my mind, the 2012 election will be the most critical election of my lifetime and will determine whether we live in a European socialist state or a constitutional republic. Pennsylvania will play a very important role in the outcome of the 2012 election. It's a swing state in the presidential election. Barack Obama won it in 2008, and it's up for grabs in 2012. Pennsylvania also has a very good chance to elect a new senator and help take control of the U.S. Senate. Tonight we have 4 participants who would like to be the challenger to challenge Bob Casey. Bob Casey has nearly 100% record of voting in support of President Obama's policies. Let me establish a few ground rules for this evening's activities. We will open with a lightning round of questions to the candidates, and then we'll open it up for each candidate to have a 6-minute opening statement. We've asked them that this statement explain why we should support them in the May primaries and how the individual will challenge and defeat Bob Casey in November. This will be followed by written questions from the audience. I'd like to introduce the participants. In alphabetical order, let me introduce Sam Rohr. Sam served as the Pennsylvania State Representative from Berks County from 1992 to 2010. During that time, Sam served on the House Education Committee and authored the Education Improvement Tax Credit Scholarship Bill. Sam has been married to Ruth Ann for 34 years and has 6 children and 5 grandchildren. Next in alphabetical order is Mark Fprge. Mark was born and raised in Pittsburgh. He graduated from Georgetown University and earned a law degree from Widener University in 2001. Mark worked for Rick Santorum and joined Rick's Washington, D.C. staff in 1994. He also worked as a senior staff member for the Pennsylvania Attorney General Mike Fisher. Mark lives in Camp Hill with his wife of 10 years and their 3 children. Tom Smith, and I think I'm correct in this, Tom gets the award for traveling the farthest from Pittsburgh area. Tom lives in Armstrong County where he grew up. He lives there with his wife, Saundry, if I pronounce it correctly? Saundry. And has 7 children and 8 grandchildren. In 1989, Tom entered the coal business and built up a series of successful coal companies in a very highly regulated industry. In 2010, Tom sold his coal companies to pursue a role in politics and to run for this Senate seat. Next is Steve Welch. Steve grew up in Chester County, lives nearby, earned a degree in mechanical engineering from Penn State University. He continues to live in Chester County with his wife and 2 children. Steve has followed an entrepreneurial path, starting a successful company called Mitos in the year 2001. Is that correct? Okay. Following the sale of Mitos, he co-founded Dream Adventures. Steve was an Eisenhower Fellow and traveled internationally, studying various forms of industrial development. In 2010, he published a book entitled, "We Are All Born Entrepreneurs." Let's please give all of these participations a very warm Valley Forge Patriots welcome. We're delighted to have them. It's a pleasure and a privilege to have them here tonight. And it's a privilege to have you all here tonight too, so thank you. I'm going to turn the meeting over to Jeff, who is our moderator, and again to Mark Driver, who will be the timekeeper and the sergeant at arms. So, Jeff.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome here tonight. Who's new here? I'd like to know who's new. Just raise your hand. Thank you for coming out, participating in democracy, and getting at least interested in all this stuff. Okay. Got my parents over there cheering me, so I guess that's a plus. We're going to get to the candidates in just a second, but what I'm going to ask right now, if you don't mind, guys, this is a yes or no question, okay? So you just raise your hand. It shouldn't be too difficult. And we're going to be just kind of off the cuff here a little bit now. So at least we kind of get a basic as where everybody kind of stands on certain issues. The first one is just a little bit of a two-part. It said, who up here is familiar with the NDAA that just recently passed in Congress? National Defense Authorization Act. Who here would have voted for it as passed? The way it was passed. Not the method, but what was inside of it. Okay. That's all no, that's good. Who in the state would vote for repeal of Obamacare in entirety?
There you go.
Who on the stage believes it was the banks that created the financial crisis?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that
I think we know who did. Who on the stage would support defunding or dramatically scaling back the Department of Energy? Who on the stage would support defunding or dramatically scaling back the EPA? Who on the stage would support defunding or dramatically scaling back the Department of Education, sending the proceeds back to the states? Who on the stage would support a full-scale, down-to-the-nap public audit of the Federal Reserve Banking Corporation, known as the Fed? Would you support it? A total audit. Everything. Articles of incorporation, everything. Only two more. Well, three more. Who on the stage believes a war with Iran, this is a little bit tougher one, a war with Iran is the solution to the threat of Iran and their nuclear ambitions, excuse me. Okay. Who on the stage believes raising taxes is a preferable solution to the national debt than cutting spending? Who on the stage would raise their hand in public that they will first and foremost preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America? Thank you very much. And so we're going to kick it off, so I think we're just going to go right down the line here. Mr. Rohr, I guess you're first up. Thank you.